And for those who have just joined us, or who don't know who I am, or who are watching, I'm Brother Sean. I am a member of the wonderful community of the Teo community of Interspiritual Franciscans. And it's a humbling experience being a part of this amazing online community who lived a simple life to the rule of Francis. We are the fourth order of Franciscans who embrace all faiths, which Francis did. But now we light our candle. And I've lit mine, and if you would like to light yours, that would be amazing also. Because this simple light is Christ consciousness. It is the Christ. And I share him with you wherever you are. And I ask Magdalena to come to you. I ask her to fold her arms around you. I ask her to touch you and allow you feel in your heart how much you are loved, how much we are all loved, valued and respected as a beloved of God the Supreme. And this evening's talk is about the gift of life through the senses in our preparation for 2012, December the 21st. And I share my birthday on that day. And I know that I have waited many years for this day, as you have too. But let us come to this table of blessing, and let us sit as an honored guest of the Supreme, but let us sit as a brother of the Christ, the barefoot Galilean, who is now risen. He is the cosmic Christ with Magdalena. And let us invite our spiritual teachers, whether it's the Prophet Muhammad, the Lord Buddha, Vishnu, Ganesh, Krishna, Paramahansa Yogananda, Rumi, Gandhi, Mir Baba, Sai Baba, Francis, Hildegard. Whoever our teachers are, let us invite them here, because they've shared so much love to us. They have left us a blueprint in their teachings on how we can embrace nirvana in our heart. Sri Chinmoy got it in one, in his beautiful writings, in his beautiful music, and in his art. He's replicating all that the ancient masters gave us, the Celts, the monastics, Francis, Clare, Colette, Thérèse of Lisieux, Bernadette Soubirous, Hildegard of Bingen, Corrie ten Boom, Archbishop Romero, Martin Luther King, and our beloved brother Gandhi. And of course, Mir Baba. We are so blessed, but do we see that blessing? Do we see it through our senses? Let us ask the company of heaven to come, to speak to us, to empower us, listen with our heart through our senses. I share with you, as someone who trained as a nurse from a very early age, being part of a nursing order of monks that went back to the 14th century, founded in Germany, and the mother house is still there in Aachen. And their lineage is my lineage, and our joint lineage goes back to Mount Carmel, to the Carmelites and the nursing monks. And my lineage and your lineage as members of the Teo community go right back from Mount Carmel with John the Beloved and Magdalena to Mount Sinai, to the Essenes. So we have a sacred lineage that goes back 8,000 years, and it's all culminating in the Teo community in the Tree of Life. Little did I know, as a 16-year-old boy, saying goodbye to all my brothers and sisters, leaving them and taking a long 9-hour drive to the southernmost tip of Ireland, and then entering an island where for 3 years I lived the monastic life. What a strange time that was. And then, at the early age, being introduced to nursing. But thank God I came to nursing through my senses, not through my academic qualifications, because I had none, because I left school at 11. So I can come to this subject with conviction in my heart, because I'm not clever, I'm not an academic, I'm not a thinker, I'm a doer. I'm a hands-on, simple, enclosed monastic owl Franciscan monk. And my life is very simple now. I go with the heart. I was trained as a nurse in psychiatry and in general to come to the patient through my senses, use my gut feeling. But that, of course, leads you down a narrow slope, because you can become a rescuer and rescue a lot of lame ducks. And when people see you coming, they latch on to you with their troubles. And in your need to be needed, you can soon become a casualty of your own doing. But coming to the Christ, coming to 2012, the epiphany of epiphanies, the equinox of nirvana, the dawn of the new Aquarius, the end of the Piscean era of the Christ, which lasted 2,000 years. Christ consciousness is not academic consciousness, it's heart consciousness. And in the 2 previous short videos, 30 minutes each of the 1-hour vigil that we did from 8 till 9, a long session, but I hope it was powerful for you in sharing with you some basic true life stories of those who know they should surrender, but their excuse is they don't know how to connect or surrender. They won't, or they don't. And then in the second part of the vigil, we allowed the Christ touch us. And I hope that meant something for you, because my heart is melting in this very room where the Blessed Sacrament is between the blue lights. The real presence. And like you, I'm honored and I'm privileged, because you and I were called by name over 2,000 years ago by Jesus and Magdalena. We were called, we said yes, we were here, and we are here. But many have been called, and many said yes. But many have become a prey to the onslaught of their senses. So this short topic, this scenario tonight, this morning, is about allowing your heart come to the supreme in your understanding of 2012, not through your brain box, no, put it away, through your senses. What are your senses? It surely can't be your platinum Visa card, not at all. Your gift of sight, your gift of hearing, your gift of touch and smell, Your gift of that inner knowing, that gut feeling, that gift of presence, gifts you and I can take for granted, gifts that the world has taken for granted, and sadly we are living in a beautiful world, but a world that's become so preoccupied with non-essentials. I mean, I only heard today that Rebecca, Brother Rob's niece, was staying with us with her husband and 2 little boys. And we've had such a busy day today preparing for Halloween in advance. I don't particularly like Halloween because I know what it stands for. And yeah, but we prepared a beautiful meal for them, for the 2 boys, for Halloween, using our senses. How would they like to look at a plate? So we got the potatoes and formed the tummy of a dragon and little tiny shallot carrots to make the eyes and the tail with sausages sticking up, and then sweet corn around it to give it the shell, and some gravy that looked like blood, using our senses to create something for a 4-year-old and a 5-year-old to appreciate the gift of beauty through a child's eye. You and I have to come to Christ consciousness as a child. Allow me read this to you, my notes on the gifts through the senses. I will thank him for the pleasures given me through my senses, for the glory of the thunder, for the mystery of music, the singing of birds, and the laughter of children. Oh, I've had it with children. Oh, they're exhausting, absolutely exhausting, but they're beautiful. Like little LJ that used to join us with Eleanor and Elizabeth. Oh, what a treat to have children around you. They make you reconnect with your inner child, and they share their toys with you and their teddies and oh. But you see, having forfeited fatherhood to live the life of a monastic, there's times like today where it's pinched, and I realize that I would have loved to have children, but by now I'd probably be a great-great-grandfather. But I've lots of surrogate children, and that's good. Okay, I will thank him for the pleasures of seeing, for the delights through color, for the awe of the sunset. And here we have such beautiful sunsets as you do in Dunedin in New Zealand and in Philadelphia. I've heard about your sunsets. And in Dublin Bay. Oh, beautiful. And of course Galway Bay. For the changing beauty of the clouds. The clouds speak a language, don't they? The Native American Indians have taught us so much about looking up. How many people look up today? Very few. And yet you get messages from the spirit, the wise ones, through the formation of clouds. Yeah, look up and see. They speak. Oh, amazing. For the wild roses in the hedges. Have you ever walked along a country lane and smelt the wild rose in May? Oh, beautiful, intoxicating. For the form and beauty of birds. Here we have so many birds. The pheasant, the peacock. Oh, profusion of different birds, and they all come in the garden. It costs us a fortune in nuts and wild bird food, but the joy, the pleasure, the beauty they bring, their foliage, and their singing to you at night, the blackbird especially. and the thrush, for the leaves on the trees in spring and autumn, and now my senses are intoxicated when I take my customary walk in the morning and in the afternoon with the dogs through the woods. I'm walking on a carpet of leaves and the colours of autumn. Oh, my God is present there, truly present. For the witness of the leafless trees through the winter, teaching us that death is sleep and not destruction. For the sweetness of flowers and the scent of hay. Truly, O Lord, the earth is full of thy riches, and you prepare us now for the greatest festival. You're coming. You're coming. You're coming in love. Oh. And yet how much more will I thank and praise God for the strength of my body, enabling me to work, for the refreshment of sleep when you can get it, for my daily bread, especially homemade bread, which you do a lot of here. We prefer homemade soup and fresh bread baked each day, made with love, and the smell, the fragrance, you can't help but thank God. For the days of painless health, the gift of my mind, and the gift of my conscience, which is clear, because I owe nobody nothing, and they owe me nothing. For his loving guidance of my mind, ever since it began first to think for itself. And of my heart, ever since it began to love. Ever since it began to love. You can come to 2012 and Christ consciousness very simply by just sitting in the woodland. As Mary in Dublin did recently when she went to Glendalough. She told me about it in her email. And it brought back such beautiful memories when I used to go to Glendalough such a lot and smell the freshness. You could almost smell the monks baking in the monastery kitchen. You could almost get the waft of the incense from benediction. Instead of coming to 2012 and Christ consciousness through the books and the notes, why not just come to it through your senses? Allow your eyes see the beauty of God in creation. Allow your heartbeat embrace the one you love. But more importantly, allow your heart be caressed by the gifts of your senses. Instead of kneeling down like I did as a young novice all those years ago on glass and on stones, and then beating ourselves with a chain and a whip on the first Fridays, my God, I dreaded it. And if you broke a cup, you had to kneel in front of the community and confess your sin. That's not embracing God through love. But some still do it. I would much rather go for a walk through the woodland or stand somewhere by a tree and lie against it to become aware of its energy. That's where my God is. That's why I love Franciscan Celtic spirituality, because it's simple, it's no frills, it's to the heart, just like little Therese of Lisieux. Let us now have a short meditation. I think we've talked enough, don't you? Let us come just into our heart, dear friends. Let us come back to our heart. Can we place our hands over our heart? Yes, we are uniting hearts through love. But feel your heartbeat now. Feel it. Feel it. I want you to feel it. I want you to feel the beat of your heart. And as you place both hands over your heart, I want you to visualize something very precious. Invite the Christ, the cosmic Christ, Jesus, to come and touch your hands. Can you do that with me now? Just close your eyes and feel a gentle stroke on your hands over your heart. Feel the warmth of his hands. Feel his skin rough, rugged. And as he moves his hand gently, you are aware that you're loved. You are aware that you are somebody important to him. Why? Why do you think you're important to the Christ? Well, let me tell you, he died for you. He shed his blood for you. And you want proof that there is a God of love? He walked to his death for our freedom from guilt and fear, from Pharisaical and Sadduceical theology that has locked us in guilt. But we're free. Once we give him our heart, we are free. But is your mind free? Or is your mind reliving your horrors, your illness, your depression, your loneliness, how you've been treated by others? That isn't Christ consciousness. That's the Antichrist, wanting to stop you being free and have you loop from crises to crises. Let the Christ touch your hand and lock that mindset of guilt and fear, loneliness, bitterness. We are all disabled. But the Christ can take our disability now. He can take it from us and use it as our ability and his to touch lives. Are you willing to come out of your comfort zone and ask him to touch you? Because when he does, he draws a line at your past and he takes you from where you are now, at this minute, this moment, and he sets you free if you allow him. I'm free. Oh yes, I'm in chronic pain, and I manage the disability of mental health issues, but I'm free because I'm not locked into the pain or the depression and the suicidal ideation. That's all been taken care of. I'm free because my heart is protected now, and I trust in his word. I certainly don't trust in my own, for I am weak and vulnerable and afraid just like you. But I'm feeling his hand now, touching my hand, and he's saying to me, well done. You got through another day. Well done. He's saying that to you, but can you hear him? Or is there too much wax in your ears? If there is, then you need to have them syringed. A spiritual syringing. You need to be clear of all this negativity and reliving your horror. We've all been brought to hell and back. That's the difference between religion and spirituality. Hell, religion is for those who live in fear of hell. Spirituality that we're in now is for those of us who've gone through it and we're free. And part of our illness is our cross. But do we carry it begrudgingly, always whinging and moaning for Britain? Or do we carry it lovingly, as a blessing, as a joy? The choice is yours. I've made mine. And I'm honoring my choice. Not easy when people laugh at you and reject you, but so what? I'm protected, and I come to the Christ through my senses. It's all I know. It's all I know. It's all I want to know. I do not want to be blinded by science or academia. I want to be like Francis and keep it simple. Like Sri Chinmoy, keep it simple. Try and see good in everything and everyone, and bless those who hurt you. I bless my illness because it's a prayer. I bless the pain that keeps me awake for hours, but it's a prayer. It's not a curse. It's not a punishment. My past is gone. My present is my prayer to the Christ. Feel his hand touch you. Feel his hand and allow his love empower you self-heal. Bless you.